Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zack Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. Each week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for a spirited discussion on whatever the moral or theme of their story was. This week's turn falls to Zack, Mr. King of Joy. Do you have a happy story for us this time?
Oh, it's the tale of utter macabre.
What crime is involved in this one? Because typically...
It's a one story about crime.
There's always some internal family dispute, though. Like, there's always some sort of drama.
What happened with your buddy from the one story where he ended up having a fling with both the mom and the daughter, like 15 years apart? Because I would like a continuation of that story.
The story's over. The man's moving on with his life. He's got a new girl. All his turn up aces for that guy.
Granddaughter?
Give him 10 years,
The puppy.
Ooh.
That'd be sweet.
Wait, the puppy? Why is bestiality involved in this?
He's got to elevate somewhere.
Yeah, guy's tagging the whole family.
All right, Zachary, are you ready? Tell us your story, man.
Yeah, so this is in direct response to an email request we got from Amber. Amber, I don't know the last name of. She challenged me to tell something happy, so this is the best I could do.
Wow. I can't wait. I am on pins and needles with that cell.
All right. So gather around the campfire. It's time for a story. James loves Spider-Man. Who doesn't? It's a timeless story. The scrappy kid becomes full-fledged hero, and he's never a jerk about it. He is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, after all. But lately, James has become rather disenfranchised with the character. He was among the few people who realized how profoundly disappointing a movie Spider-Man Homecoming was. The video games have been terrible for years, and let's not even get started on the utter abuse and misuse of the character in the modern storylines of comics. He's kind of become a joke character, a lovable goofball, not the Peter Parker James and many others grew up with. Gone are the relatable concerns of a struggling everyman who wouldn't even join the Avengers because he wanted to look out for the little guys. In was Peter Parker the techie, who relies on his suite of gadgets like some rent-a-cop Batman. He even had, or maybe still has, a multinational corporation in the comics. All that to say, James doesn't find much to get excited about with Spidey these days. Then a brand new video game was unveiled. Developed by legendary company Insomniac Games, the studio behind such classics as Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet & Clank, and Sunset Overdrive, published by Sony themselves for their PlayStation 4 system, putting real money and marketing behind it. James' eyes lit up, wide with childlike wonder. The new story has the hits. Peter Parker is finally allowed to be an adult again, barely making his rent, has a serious, if on and off, relationship with Mary Jane. It's that classic weight of the world on his shoulders take on the character that endeared James to Spidey in the first place. James is no longer indifferent or angry about the character. He sees a bright spot ahead in the future. Some slight tinge of happiness in his otherwise dark outlook. Spider-Man is finally getting his homecoming, and this time it's the right way.
So there's no chance this is a personal story, right?
No, yeah, definitely not.
No.
I don't even know who Jimmy could be.
This story was brought to you by Sony's PlayStation 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, okay.
What do you think the moral of the story is?
There's a moral?
Zack loves Spider-Man again?
I thought it was an ad. Let's see. Amanda, you field that. I'm thinking.
You told me to come up with something happy.
Hey.
This is probably the only thing that makes Zack happy, so it has to do with joy. So life can bring you joy when it gives you destruction in the past.
What? I don't
know.
He
hated the homecoming because
I gotcha. Okay.
It wasn't Peter Parker, but now it is again.
So now scar on my foot from that movie.
Scar on your foot?
I think.
Yeah, because I kicked the table so hard when Zendaya said she was MJ.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's smart.
Wow. That's so much better than what I have.
You should have gone with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? No. The moral is the things that just make us happy.
Aw. Yeah. Look at that.
Simple.
Simplicity and happiness.
Simple.
Got it. Yeah. See, it feels more like a theme than a moral, but I like it.
Or a discussion point.
Discussion point. Yeah.
Things that make you happy.
That was happy. Things that make you
You know what? I'm proud of you.
Me or him?
You know what? Maybe don't give me
not
so much
you.
grief, Aaron. I'm struggling over here. You know how long it took to scour something to put a smile on this face?
It took him seriously like 4, maybe 5 months to find something that brought him joy.
This is no easy task.
Understood. All right. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well-
Spider-Man?
Yeah, hopefully.
Our favorite Spidey version.
Yeah, who's the best villain, you know? Look, Aaron, best villain.
In Spider-Man?
Yeah, go.
I would honestly put it to Michael Keaton. Current.
I meant like the best character, just like in the comics. I don't mean like specific.
Oh, Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Amanda?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't read all the comics.
Say Green Goblin.
No, I will not.
In the comics. In the comics is much better.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know.
Venom's good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Venom.
Yeah.
I grew up.
I'll
in the
add
era
it to
of
my
that.
list.
Yeah.
Well, guys, have you ever lost complete interest in a property or franchise only to get drawn all the way back in?
Yes.
This first show.
Yes. This one, Indiana Jones, actually.
Oh, Crystal Skull did it to you?
You know what's funny is I don't hate that movie. And actually, going back to rewatch it, there's parts of it that I really, really like. There's a lot of good things about it. But there's also a lot of things that drove me crazy when I went and saw it. Because Indiana Jones doesn't ride bitch on a motorcycle, number one. The swinging around on the monkey thing, showing the alien. It's just, there's a lot of things that's like, did anybody stop and actually watch the first 3 before you made this one? Because it felt like you lost touch with what the first 3 were. So I did have a long period of time with Indiana Jones where I was, I think for a while they talked about, should we do a 5th one? Should we do another one? And I'm like, no, just let it be. I mean, I got my first 3. I got my original trilogy. I'm good with that. I can still watch Crystal Skull now and again. And again, I don't dislike it. It just made me not want to see more of that character, which had never happened in my lifetime. Honestly, then George Lucas sold the rights to Disney. Disney started cranking out like hit after hit after hit, and they decided they're going to make one more go round. And then I saw Ready Player One and saw that Steven Spielberg still has it in him a little bit to make some of that magic. And then I remember that George Lucas was probably part of the problem with the Crystal Skull because he's kind of gotten in his own way the last 15 years. Then I got excited again when they announced Indy 5. Putting all that together got me excited in Indiana Jones 5 again. Even though Harrison Ford is going to be 80 years old, people keep bringing that up. I'm like, you really think all of these actors are doing their own stunts? I hate to break it to you, they are not. So they can hire someone else to make him look cool. All he needs to do is deliver the lines, which he still can. So, yeah.
Can't run though.
Well, he never could. I mean, honestly, go watch Harrison Ford run in any movie. He's not a good runner. He's just
like
not.
slowly jogging.
I mean, he looks. If you watch him run in Star Wars or you watch him run in the Indiana Jones movies, he runs like he does now. Like he's old, and and he shouldn't be running. He wobbles. He doesn't really run. He just kind of like leans forward and lets gravity take him over.
Amanda?
This is hard. A lot of times when something takes me out of it, there's not redemption. I had a personal incident. Well, that sounds weird. I had a personal issue with my favorite TV show, which was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And when I was growing up, I really wanted her autograph, Sarah Michelle Gellar, because I idolized the show and she's the pivotal point for it. And I, was able to find pieces of me and my life in that show. So I resonated a lot. And I ended up getting an autograph from Allison Hannigan, who played Willow, and she's adorable and I love her. But Sarah Michelle Gellar refused to do autographs, I guess, which I was younger, so I took offense to it personally.
Like she's out to get you.
Well, just like
she's sitting somewhere in a corner going, "No, Amanda." No,
I was just
I mean, it does come across a little.
You've gotten all of this
you think you're
fame.
so important.
Yeah, you've gotten all this fame and you can't even sign an autograph for.
You're on the WB. You're in Scooby Doo. Simmer down.
Now you're doing cook shows. So I was a little heartbroken by that because I had just idolized her for so long for the character that she portrayed. And when you resonate so deeply with something, you have a weird connection to it as if it's almost a part of your life. So when I got rejected for that and found out that she was not even willing to do that for her fans, it kind of ruined the image of her for me for a while. because I just couldn't see her as this all-giving, self-sacrificing, beautiful human being that I kind of I attached her with the Buffy character, which I probably shouldn't have, but I mean, I kind of grew up with it.
Built her up in your head.
Yeah, and so when that happened, it really bummed me out, not because I wanted the materialistic thing that badly, it was just kind of the point behind it, that you're not willing to give back to the people that have given you the career that you now have.
Did you watch like Scream 2 over and over so you could see her death scene?
No, I just basically took some time and didn't watch Buffy for a little while because I was just like, man, why should I support you when you don't want to support the people that are trying to give you more money too at the same time? Mm-hmm. So that bothered me. But eventually I got older and I was just like, it's her choice. Joss Whedon still made an incredible show that had so much good in it and related to societal issues so well. And there was, that helped me become the person that I was in a weird way, mm-hmm. or that I am. So I can't fault the show for one actress's personality. David Boreanaz also did that to me because he cheated on his wife, and I thought he was this beautiful human being. I don't know why, because Angel wasn't a good character.
He still is. He can still be beautiful.
Yeah, he's beautiful, but not in his soul.
You didn't know her?
No. What if you were the other woman?
Well, that's a different story. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything changed.
But I guess those are the only
No bones about that. What?
That's good stuff.
Those are the only things that I can think of off the top of my head right now. And eventually, as I got older, just kind of got over it, and Buffy's still a big part of me. So I still rewatch it all the time.
I had a friend who told me about The Rock and how he what's that?
Dwayne?
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock
Okay.
Johnson, and how he stops and talks to every fan, or not a friend. I met a guy. We're not friends, but I met
What's
a guy.
his name?
No, I can't. But he knows The Rock, and he's worked with The Rock, and he said he talks to every fan, like when he goes on set, when he goes, and if people stop him, he will talk to them, even if it's going to put him late or whatever. He's just that kind of guy, and he asked him why he does that. When so many actors don't do that. And The Rock told him, according to this dude, he could be making it up, but he said The Rock told him, you know what, to them, that one moment might mean a lifetime. So I remember what it was like when I was that guy. I don't want to ever leave somebody hanging if I can help it. That's what people expect their entertainers to be like. I don't think many of them are. Honestly.
No, but that's still really sweet. The ones who go in, they go to the hospitals for the little kids. I know Chris Evans done it before, which is weird because he's got such bad anxiety and stuff. But
how do you know that? Does he talk to you about his psychological problems?
I wish. Let me help.
I love when people talk about the people that they,
He's talked about it, okay?
Chris. Oh, Chris. He struggles with heights so much. Yeah. And
he has to put on the Captain America costume just to feel like he can handle the world.
Right. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was...
Tell us more about Chris. What else has he done? What's he like at when he's at, in the restroom,
I would love to find out.
Where's he with his toothbrush?
Love to see where he pees.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Hey, Zach, what about you?
Oh, wow.
Anything come to mind?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it could be.
I don't know. The Spider-Man story sounds interesting, but it's a little far-fetched for me to believe.
Right.
Star Wars definitely pulled me out when, because I didn't even hate the prequels. So I was still on board for Star Wars until Disney bought it. And
whoa! Why was that? What about that turned you off?
Disney buying it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they smashed out the expanded universe.
Oh.
And I was reading so many Star Wars books, playing every single game, reading every comic, and definitely got pretty bitter about this lifetime of encyclopedic knowledge being utterly useless now. That's pretty disappointing. And then they took all the storylines away, and then the best they could come up with was making A New Hope again. I was like, Star Wars, it's clearly not for me anymore. But then I saw The Last Jedi, and I'm back in.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
A little fire.
That's probably because of Kylo, right?
Yeah. Well, Kylo was the best part about The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and Star Wars. He's great.
His mask wasn't, though. Can we agree on that?
I don't think we can.
There's something wrong with you then. If you think that mask was cool.
Sweet.
No.
Well, it's gone now, so you got what you wanted.
Yeah, thank the Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, all my prayers were answered. That's really all I asked for.
But the Last Jedi started, feels like there's imagination left somewhere at Lucasfilm.
I'm glad you feel that way. I felt like it was a mirror image of events from the original trilogy.
I think they subverted those events.
I think they just did everything that people thought was going to happen, and then they did the opposite.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's cool.
You sure? Yeah. All right. Rock on.
Come on, I mean, the first Star Wars spin-off movie was the most overtold story of the expanded universe.
Can I ask you, as an obviously avid Star Wars fan, how come when people have any kind of criticism about it, they could say, I really like the movie, but there's one thing I didn't like. Do people call them haters and then throw things at them? Why does that happen?
Yeah. You're either a hater or a fanboy. There's no in between.
Gotcha.
It seems like, yeah. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that's the internet for you.
Understood. All right. We should probably get back on topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. We really covered the gamut there. So what is it about characters like Spider-Man, Indiana Jones, Buffy that find us so intrinsically attached to them?
I think when you can somehow place yourself in their position or resonate with them in some way, whether it's a trauma that they've gone through or something that they've dealt with, that they've struggled with, those struggles we can resonate with, or even the way they react to things, we might also see ourselves in that position, or people we know. So I think it's being able to connect that back to your life in some way. Sometimes it's just the inspiration of you admire it so much or you idolize it so much that this is what you want and you would love to have this life or be, this type of personality and have this kind of wit or humor or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it would be cool if we could all just be Mal Reynolds.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I got to be honest, I don't intrinsically see myself in them. I just think, man, that's cool. That's ultimately what it is. I mean, Indiana Jones is my favorite character of all time. Spider-Man's up there, but he's my favorite, and I think it's because when I first saw him, he was a character who was intelligent. He was very smart, so he wasn't like, of that time. He wasn't the Schwarzeneggers and the Rambos. I love me Stallone.
Oh God!
But
Stallone's guessing on this podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome. We didn't know you were coming.
Let me tell you about my favorite heroes. It's not the same big dumb action guy. He's a very intelligent man, and he's off trying to do good. And his good is different than other movies. He's not trying to save anybody. He's trying to protect something that he finds to be very important to the world, and he wants to preserve it for educational purposes. And I just always found that fascinating. It was a different kind of hero. Mm-hmm. And then he's got a whip and he swings over stuff. And it's like, why is a whip like the one thing you chose? I don't understand. But it works all the time.
And he looks so cool doing it.
Yes. And he looks awesome doing it. And he runs away from boulders and he's afraid of snakes. I don't get that one. But I mean, he's just the coolest character ever. I can't think of anybody better.
Aw.
That's adorable.
It is precious.
Mm-hmm.
Zach?
Yeah. Well, from it, I want to use James' example of Spider-Man here. And just say, I always, when I think of Spider-Man, it makes me want to be better as a person, because he had some hard issues, but he manages to still care. I can't care about the world, but he can. And every now and then I'm like, boy, I should be more like that. Of course I don't, but I should.
But it makes you at least think about it for a second.
Yeah, for a few minutes when Peter Parker saves someone's life, I go, that's a good guy. And then I think about, that person probably wasn't worth saving in the first place, though.
Peter Parker is a good example because in terms of comic books, he's the best example, in my opinion, because you have a hero who he got all these powers and he didn't. It's selfless from the get-go, always from the get-go. And, the one selfish thing he did, which, it was at the time when Uncle Ben died, or Tony showed up. I don't know. It's not getting a Homecoming. But
We've already decided James does not like Homecoming.
James is correct.
Definitely James in the story was not satisfied with Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, James is correct with that one. But the one selfish thing he did, which is that's why Homecoming, people don't get why real diehard Spider-Man fans are so mad about it. That's why. Uncle Ben, the one selfish thing he did affected his uncle. And basically he lost his uncle that night. That's what caused him to be the person he is. He didn't care about impressing anyone ever. Mm-hmm. It was always about doing the right thing and doing it for no other reason than it's just the right thing to do. That's it.
And it's a really awesome lesson that they incorporated really well. It wasn't thrown in your face. It wasn't thrown in your face or aggressive or anything. It was just like, this is just part of being a human being. Like bad things happen and it changes you. Mm-hmm. And it can change you for the worse or it can change you for the better. And it changed him for the better. I'm with you guys. That's a pivotal point in his story.
Well, apparently he doesn't even need to remember it because he's like, I used to have somebody. I don't remember who he was. Hey, Uncle Tony, how's it going?
Yeah, everything Aunt May's been through.
Oh, yeah, Aunt
I'm
May.
really hard on her.
Yeah. There's a line. We said a line, guys. We did. Sorry, we got off on a tangent. Well,
That's okay.
Let's all get on a homecoming tangent.
Bad movie.
Maybe Marvel will pick this up, and then our podcast will get some promotion. That'd be cool, huh?
Or maybe they can just listen to the advice we have, and they'll alter the entire storyline, somehow incorporating Ben.
Oh, that's not...
Because
no.
as he gets older, maybe then Ben passes away.
Or Thanos just snaps his fingers in the Infinity Gauntlet, and we get a better origin for Spider-Man in this universe.
There you go. That too.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, so not to leave this, I don't want to leave this topic without trying to do at least something a little darker. So, just because I'm me, do you think it's dangerous people define part of their personalities with these properties controlled by money-driven mega corporations?
What? Say that slower, because you lost me halfway. I'm like, wait, I feel bad now, and I don't know why.
Good. Yeah, that's the effect I want. Do you think it's dangerous people define part of their personalities with these properties controlled by money-driven mega corporations?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because we love these things that are created by a lot of big money. Mm-hmm. Is that a bad thing, inherently bad thing?
Yeah, we're really signing ourselves over to be dictated by Disney. The biggest entertainment company in the world.
We're subjecting ourselves to being controlled in a way because they can do what they want and know that they'll still have us in a way. But in the same token, sometimes they don't retain that same audience if they make something that's too drastic or is way out of character. Now I'm realizing I'm wrong because Homecoming did make a lot of money. So,
yeah, you can do whatever you want, and there's people are still going to buy tickets. They'll tell you they won't, but they will.
Because they want to see what you're going to do differently. So, I mean, somebody's going to get rich somehow. At least you can feel a little bit of solace knowing that you're getting entertainment out of it in return, I guess.
I mean, I don't think I'm Indiana Jones. So, I mean, I'm not that defined.
No, you know what, Aaron? I mean, I don't think you're the best example for this. I'm thinking, I would say the younger generation, no offense. It's very... People are either you're a big Harry Potter fan, you're a big X-Men fan, and this is something people know about you, and it's you buy all the memorabilia and you litter your house with it. And I think that's become more of a thing as these companies have learned to better merchandise. So I think it might have missed your generation a little bit more.
I don't think it's bad because I'm a big fan of you love what you love. And if you can afford it and it doesn't affect anyone negatively, then, by all means, knock yourself out. I mean, if you have 1,000 Funko Pops, maybe back it up. But but I don't think that's inherently bad. Maybe not healthy. I mean, you don't just get associated with one thing. But I say that, and I'll tell you what, if I knew Harrison Ford was running through my neighborhood in his full outfit, I would be running out there trying to catch him, Well,
it'd be pretty easy to catch up.
This is true. He wobbles. He can't run.
Well, you fall, so...
Yeah, and I fall, so it might take a little longer than we thought.
Well, they'll be learn to pick yourself back up.
Mm-hmm. That's how we learn, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's with anything, football, sports, music, everybody... You know what? It's probably not a healthy thing, but life is tough. We all work. We all have sad things that happen in our lives. We have painful memories. We have moments. That kind of stuff gives us joy. And if it gives people joy, I don't see anything bad about it. Are they making too much money off of it? Probably. Are they, is somebody probably somewhere losing their house over it? Sure. But for the most part, people get a lot of entertainment. I've made a lot of friends because of that love. So I can't say it's a bad thing.
I like that. Zach, let's hear your negativity.
What? No, I mean,
just kidding.
No, I think in the grander scheme it's dangerous, but I think we're already too far gone. So you may as well just enjoy yourself.
Well, people put their money into a lot of different things that maybe aren't pop culture, but they're still going to indulge in that probably too much in one way or another, whether that's beer or wine, or it's sports, going to games or video games. People have some sort of passion or even sometimes obsession that they get indulged into. And somebody's going to profit off of it somehow. No matter what, somebody's going to profit somewhere because, let's face it, they were smarter than us and learned how to profit off of it. Mm-hmm. So more power to them. By the way,
buy your Smirk shirt at TeePublic.
I prefer companies that do something where they give back and promote giving back to the community in some way, in some sort of charity, or asking their signed actors or whatever to go and do something
Children's
positive.
hospitals.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it might be, or fundraising at one of your sporting events. If you're doing something where you're not just keeping that money at the upper levels and you're actually distributing it back to your community, or even paying your employees really well and giving them benefits, then I can't say that I'm against them when they're doing that.
It brings joy. Joy, man.
Joy sucks. Gotta be happy.
Hey, what can we ask? Was the story true or false?
Yeah. Hey guys, let me know. Truth or fiction? What do you guys think?
Whoa. Let me think. Let me ponder. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys want to check back next week, we can do that. It's going to take.
I'm really just distraught trying to figure out if this is truth or fiction. I have no idea whose story it could be.
Friction. It's friction.
Why did you turn into Laura Croft?
I don't know. That's a real compliment. Thank you.
Not physically.
Oh, that's rude. I take offense to that.
I think it's 100% true, obviously. So, what's the title of your story?
So the title of my story is "There's a Hero in All of Us."
I like it.
Isn't that a Chad Kroger song?
No, it's a quote from Aunt May in Spider-Man 2. You don't remember this scene?
I do, but you don't remember the Chad Kroger song?
No, I don't even know who that is.
He's a Nickelback guy. He's like, and a hero and save us.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
dun, dun. Wait.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, it was a big deal in 5th grade or whatever.
Sure was.
Oh, it's funny. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. So thanks for bringing back your memory that we all knew was obviously your memory, because it sounded like you were just in your bedroom looking around going, Spider-Man, yay. As our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. If you'd like the chance to have yours read, email them to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. You can join the conversation by joining our Facebook group, or follow us on Twitter @SmirkPodcast, and be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe on Smirk, or subscribe to Smirk on your podcast app of choice, and check out our website at smirkpodcast.com. I do want to say, find this episode's post on Facebook or Twitter and let us know who your favorite character was. I'm kind of curious what do you relate to? What are you selling your soul to the Disney store or whoever for?
What makes you happy?
Or that.
Yeah, you know what? I want to know what makes people happy.
You do?
Yeah, so I can single-handedly, I can just piece by piece destroy everybody.
Jesus. It's time to wrap this one up.
Well, as you write your own life story, remember to tell it with a smirk.